welcome to Inside the Lions Den, the show where we take an intimate look inside UAPB athletics. I'm your host, LaRon Marbley, and in today's show, we'll have first-year head coach Alonzo Hampton, who's coming fresh off a win on Saturday. We'll also hear from head soccer coach and Coach 𝐒𝐸𝐸, and we'll talk to athletic director Christopher Robinson. Welcome to Inside the Lions Den. And with me right now, with no further ado, my man, Coach Alonzo Hampton. And Coach, first and foremost, congratulations on your win on Saturday.
Appreciate it, my man. Excited to be here and talk at the Lions Den.
Absolutely, and glad to have you here, man. And had a little tough start to the season. Of course, faced Tulsa, played decent in that game, came back at the Southern Heritage Classic, played a little bit better, put it all together. And I heard you at your halftime interview, Coach, you was like, we didn't play the best football, but we got the win. And sometimes getting that first win under your belt may be the most difficult thing.
Well, obviously for us, it was about getting the win and just getting a group of guys together, believing in the plan that we had put in place from the spring to the fall camp, and get that first win was exciting for everybody. And so now I can relax as the head coach, and now the assistant coaches can relax so I won't be on them as much.
Absolutely, Coach. Now let's go back to that game on Saturday. Got off to a pretty quick start. Scored early, twice in the first quarter. Touchdown pass, of course, won the ball game 21-20. But a touchdown pass to senior Claude Coleman, 18-yard pass from Jalen Macon. We've seen a couple of quarterbacks this year. Mekhi Hagens also threw a touchdown pass to Kenji Lewis, 36 yards. What was kind of your mindset starting that ball game off?
Well, obviously we thought Jalen deserved the opportunity to continue to play. Mekhi got hurt the game before, so we were going to go in and play both quarterbacks. We knew that going in, and we thought we could run the football on them. And obviously that play that we called, Mekhi just do what Mekhi do, and he scrambled around. Same thing with Jalen. Jalen's like a quarterback on the field, so we felt pretty good about our game plan going in, and so that's kind of happened. Coach Acosta made a great call, and we were able to get that first score.
Absolutely, Coach. And then taking that lead into halftime, 14-0, Coach. What was kind of your message to the team going into halftime?
Well, we always talk about starting fast. I mean, the last couple of weeks we hadn't started fast. And then at halftime, I just told the kids we want to be able to finish the game strong. Now, I thought we would come out and score the first drive of the third quarter, but we did not. And obviously they got some momentum going. But what I like the most is our players. They didn't quit. They didn't break when they could have broken. And that was the most encouraging thing for me. Because when you're starting a new program and you're trying to set a foundation, all they do is they hear me talk about what it should look like.
Right,
but until you actually get in the fire, it was good for everybody to settle down. And I had to take a step back as the head coach. And sometimes when it gets going really bad, when the head coach should say something, I think I'm just the opposite. I kind of step back and kind of see what players will step up, and then kind of allow my assistant coaches to kind of make some different moves, and that's what happened. And so I was at peace. And I had already said my prayer, so whatever happened at that point, it was in God's will.
Absolutely, Coach. And they did. They came out in the third quarter, got a score on the board. Of course, we answered, and they were able to score again in the third quarter. We talked about a little bit about the passing game. Of course, scored those 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. But this rushing game, Coach, I mean, you look at these running backs. We have 3 capable running backs that we've seen this year. But you have to give credit to the offensive line for the running backs to be so successful.
Well, those guys are doing a good job, and if you ask them, they're not doing a good enough job because we left a lot of holes out there, even on Saturday. And then when we played Tulsa, you go back to that game, Tennessee State, like the first half, we wasn't able to run the ball. We wasn't able to sustain drives and just leaving the defense on the field too long. So this week, we got a big challenge ahead of us. And our O-line, they should be the experience of our team. Those guys got 3 starters coming back from last year's team, and we were finished second in rushing last year. So it really doesn't matter who you put at tailback. You got guys up there, it means a lot to them. Ryan Atkins does a good job leading that group. And Trey Lester, you got Christian Love, you got Courtney Van Buren, you got Thomas Prater. I mean, so we feel good about our O-line. I just want them to have the mentality that we're going to dominate from the very first snap and don't wait till the end of the game. And I'm disappointed that we wasn't able to get the first down to end the game. We had to go back on defense. So that was an emphasis that we talked about today in practice.
And we'll get to that in just a moment, the defensive side of the football. But looking at this rushing game, you have Jonas. He was the FCS National Freshman of the Week, the SWAC Newcomer of the Week against Tennessee State in the Southern Heritage Classic. And you turn around, you have a freshman from Arkansas, and B.J. Curry, who had a spectacular game as well. Talk a little bit about your running backs, Coach.
Well, obviously, Jonas is one of the best running backs I've seen. And make a long story short, in spring, he wasn't very good. I'm going to tell everybody he wasn't very good. he kept fumbling the ball all the time. And I remember calling him into my office. I asked him, did he really want to play college football? I said, because you're holding everybody's life in your hand. Every time you carry the football, this program depends on the person that runs the football. And I said, right now, I can't trust you with the football. And I said, man, you need to ask yourself if this is really what you want to do. And so that young man went home, and he took it to heart. He came back, and he was a machine. So we started fall camp, and we could not tackle him. And so we had brought another guy in that we thought would be the guy, Jamerson, but at the end of the day, he didn't complain, he didn't do anything, he just worked. And so he earned the right to become the starter, and he's done a good job. And then obviously BJ's a guy from the state of Arkansas that we recruited. I recruited when I was at Louisiana Monroe. I've been watching him a long time. Like, he's one of those guys that he may not look like a lot, but he's a football player. I mean, he's an undersized kid, but he's a state champion in the hurdles here. And I followed him, him and his family. I fell in love with him when we recruited him. And obviously, for me, it was important to get a kid from the state of Arkansas, because that's what we're really about. Let's just be real. We need to keep more of our kids from Southeast Arkansas and the state of Arkansas at home. If you want to fill those stands, and we want to fill those stands, we need to get more players from this area to want to stay here. And the way we do that is you go out there, you put a winning brand of football out there, you have players that do good in the community, in the classroom, and BJ's just one of many. We got about 6 more Arkansas kids, and I hope we'll be able to turn them loose pretty soon.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it, Coach. Absolutely. He did a great job. Had nearly 100 yards, got his first collegiate touchdown. I know you were happy for him for that as well. And now let's talk about the other side of the football, Coach, defensively. The guys stepped up when they needed to step up. You talked about at the end of the game, defense had to go back out there. They did what they were supposed to do. And they have been playing pretty well for this young season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're excited about what they're doing. We got a lot of guys, and we don't even have starters. We call it organizational chart. Because one day you come to work, if you don't work, you get what? You get demoted. So that's what we are. Our football team is built off of competition. And I want a highly competitive football team in the classroom, on the football field. So if you come out with the wrong mindset, you're not going to be out there. So we had 4 starters down on defense. And those guys that you saw play, Khalil Arnold, he had the game of his life. He was a backup. And he was working with the scout team just a week before. But he had an opportunity, got hurt. He came in the game and had the game of his life. I don't know how he wasn't SWAC Player of the Week, but to me, he's our SWAC Player of the Week because the kid had 3 sacks, I think 5 tackles for loss, and he loves the game of football, and that's what it's about. It's about getting the kid and taking them from a place that they didn't think they could be and putting them in position to make plays, and so I'm happy that that happened for him.
Absolutely. You talk about Khalil Arnold. He's 3rd in the conference in tackles for loss, averaging 1.67 yards on tackles for loss. So he did have a spectacular game. I believe he was the 2nd leading tackler in the ball game behind Rico Dozier. And that's another kid, young man, I should say, that has stepped up for the Golden Lions defensively as well. Rico Dozier is probably the quietest kid I've ever been around. You wouldn't even know he was in the building. But all he does is he do exactly what the coaches asked him to do. We're trying to make him speak up a little more, but then I'm reminded that Tony Dungy didn't say a lot either. Right. And Rico Dozier is the same way. All he does is do what he's supposed to do in the classroom, on the football field, and you don't have to worry about it. That kid's going to do exactly what the coaches asked him to do. And we just need more Rico Doziers. And we're going to recruit him. And I think some of his teammates are starting to walk in his shadow, and it makes it good for all of us because we need to be good on defense. Offense, fill the stands. Defense, win championships. And I'm never going to change. I'm a defensive coach at heart. That's what I do. And so we're going to be tough. You know, we're going to be relentless on defense, and we're going to chase the football. We may bend, but we won't ever break. And at the end of the day, when we get the crowd into it, we can start making a few more plays. I think this place, Simmons Bank Field, is going to be a special place for any opponent coming in there. I want to get to the point where the visitor side, they can't even get in because we got all golden lines in there. I'm talking about black and gold. I'm talking about the whole city when you play a home game. Literally inside of that stadium, making it rough for the opposing team. Absolutely, Coach. And going back to the game, talking about Rico and the defense, Miles had a chance to tie the game with about 11 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and they stepped up once again, blocked the extra point. Talk a little bit about the 3rd phase of the game, Coach. We had a little issue at Tennessee State with the block field goal, but came back this week and did a lot better on the special teams. Man, we talk about our special teams being special, and we want to score or set up a score. And obviously, any time that you give up, we made a bonehead play. Our punt returner did with Jewel. That's one of our best players. I mean, the guy's tremendous. He's a young kid, and he made a mistake. And obviously, you know, we had his back. The defense got to go out there. We called a block, and then
𝐂𝐨𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐿, that guy we talking about, that was on the scout team a couple of weeks before, he got in there and he went and blocked it. And we ended up winning the game by 1 point. So we tell everybody, everybody's is needed, is part whole. And that's the school teacher in me. That's how I try to teach our kids. Want to be part here, put it all together and got a whole unit. And that's what we're trying to get. We haven't played a whole game yet. And it's a young season, and I'm trying to get us to get to the point where we can play an entire game, offense clicking, defense clicking, special teams clicking, and then that's when the Golden Lions are going to be rolling.
Absolutely, Coach, and that's the exciting thing about it. We haven't seen a complete game out of these youngsters yet, but they have still played very well. You talk about 𝐒𝐤𝐿 Jr. and the plays they made inside the 10-yard line, Coach, to step up and make the stops when they needed to. Just talk a little bit about your defense then and what was going through your mind at that point.
Well, obviously, anytime someone get down there, getting ready to go and score a touchdown, you got to be the aggressor. We talk about being a hammer or a nail. Like, we're going to be the hammer around here. Eventually, we're going to be the hammer, and people are going to like the brand of football that we play. And so, again, Coach was really aggressive in his play call, Coach Callaway. He called a blitz, and Grant came off the edge, unblocked, and he made the play. And that's what it's about. When somebody's coming to your house and they're about to take something from you, then you got to be able to step up and do something. And Grant, being a senior, really good football player, but he's a better person. And so I was happy that he was able to make that play to knock him out of field goal.
Absolutely. Now, ranking 5th in the conference, 3rd in rushing, the Golden Lions offense. We talked about Jones and the running backs and the offense coach, but a lot of times you look at the numbers and they can be a bit deceiving. Is that something that's important to you as a head coach?
The only thing important to me is to win.
There you go.
But as a head coach, and I'll say this, I don't mean it in a negative way, but we go to the meetings, it's not very fun because you see things that we're not doing, like the fundamentals and technique. And I tell them the first thing I want you to understand about fundamentals is an F, and it's a U, and it's an N. We need to have fun. And fun is winning, okay? That's how you get your fun. And so our guys got to understand where we're going as a program. And I love this university. And what you've seen is from our basketball, women's basketball, men's basketball, our soccer, our volleyball, the energy is unmatched. And so we need to do our part to keep the energy up. And so every morning we wake up motivated, and we talk about being on a never-ending journey, trying to find a way to become better today than yesterday. And so that's the only mindset that we got. And so we got to continue to challenge our kids in the classroom and on the field to become the very best student athletes they can become.
Absolutely, Coach. And a short week this week, and when we return, we'll talk about the matchup in Huntsville, Alabama, as the Golden Lions will be on the road for a Thursday night game. You're tuned in to Inside the Lions Den. We'll be back in a moment.
Simmons Bank has a lot of pride in Pine Bluff. It's been our home since 1903, but our goal has always remained the same: to help make our customers' dreams come true. From our headquarters downtown to more than 200 locations across 8 states. That's a lot of dreams coming true, and they all started right here in Pine Bluff. Simmons Bank, Pine Bluff proud.
Every bite better with Pepsi.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up 1 finger if you're a man, women 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Dear Adidas, we believe that through sport, we have the power to change lives.
A female coaching me.
Is anybody watching female sports?
But female athletes are being left behind.
We have the power to make a new world for female athletes. So come together fight for equality, and level the field to ensure that no matter the challenge ahead, she breaks barriers.
Because of you, we feel like we belong. Because of you, my family's happy and stronger.
Because of you, we have a safe place from bullying.
Because of you, I have a place to hang my art.
Because of you, graduation is within reach.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place for their future. Because of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff Athletics Department, we are not only able to open doors, but transform lives. Great futures start here.
Coach 𝐂𝐨𝐚𝐜𝐡𝐞𝐬. Coach, feel the love, man. You can feel all the love. Great crowd out here today, man. And again, congratulate you on your first win. But there's no rest for the weary, Coach. Short week this week, Thursday night game in Huntsville, Alabama, starting conference play against Alabama A&M. First, Coach, how does your schedule kind of change when you have a short week like this?
Well, obviously you got to practice on Sunday.
Right.
So that's the only thing that was different. We went out and did a little walkthrough with the players, but we knew it. I mean, the schedule came out in enough time and you make adjustments. And that's why you call the head coach. You make those decisions and you get out and you practice with the kids and you give them an introduction of what we got to see this week. And so Sunday was a good day for us. It's always exciting when you get a win. You can kind of get them on out there. So I didn't have to pump and prime them too much. And then today, we just had practice, and I'm going to go back and watch film in a little while. But we got a good opponent that we're playing this week, and you know, they're a little disappointed. They got beat by Southern, so we'll have a work cut out. But I told our players, it ain't no pressure on us. They picked us dead last. So what's the pressure? Man, go out and let's have fun. Fundamental football and play good on offense, defense, and special teams. We're excited about the challenge. And that's what I love about this program and where we're headed, because it's our expectations are we're going to be the gold standard. And the standard is we got to go and play on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. It don't matter. We'll play on Tuesday. It's just put the ball down and let's play.
Absolutely, Coach. And we'll have the opportunity to get a little more exposure with it being on a television game as well. Being in Huntsville and looking at Alabama A&M this year, what are you seeing out of them offensively?
Well, obviously, they got two good running backs like we do. And I think what you're starting to see is when Shedeur left Jackson State, now you don't really have a quarterback that's going to throw the ball 40, 50 times. Most all the quarterbacks we have now, they can run the ball, but obviously the running game, most people are trying to control the clock with the running game, and they do a good job. They got big offensive linemen. I mean, some of them guys, I'm like, man, where did they come from? But at the end of the day, man, we're excited about the opportunity to be able to compete on Thursday night. ESPNU, Golden Lion Nation will be there, and I know our fans will be behind us, cheering us through the TV. Absolutely, Coach. And on the defense side of football, what are you looking at from Huntsville? Again, like for us, I mean, we're going to stop the run. Anytime you're playing an offensive football team, the number one thing to do is stop the run and make them pass the ball. I'm a defensive back coach by heart, so I want you to pass it. So we got to make sure we stop the run and be able to get the ball back to our offense. And then, you know, obviously for us, on offense, we need to be able to run the football and take the shots when the shots present themselves. And then on special teams, they got a good returner. So we got to be smart in, you know, how we place the ball. Ball placement is going to be important for us. You know, obviously we got to get down the field and cover. Absolutely, Coach. Now, are you familiar with the coach from Alabama A&M? I mean, he's a pretty good coach by trade. He's built a pretty good program down there at Alabama A&M. Well, I'm familiar with him because I played against him in arena football. I know I'm dating myself a little bit, but we played in the real arena football when they were paying real money, and we were playing on ESPNU. But I played against him then, and then we talked a little bit at the SWAC Media Day. So, I mean, I followed him. I think the year they won the SWAC championship, I like his confidence. And I heard him in his press conference this morning. He's not worried about the Golden Line, but the Golden Line's not worried about the Bulldogs either. Absolutely, Coach. And, of course, you guys will, I'm assuming, have a travel day on Wednesday? Absolutely. We'll do a morning walkthrough, 6:30 a.m., get them up, and 6:30, 7:15, we'll get them over there, let them eat in the caf, and then we'll get them on the bus about 9 o'clock, take us an easy ride, get us a little bonding in, watch a couple movies on the bus, and then we'll get us a little snack about 1 o'clock, get a little Chick-fil-A, and then we'll get back on the bus, get to the hotel about 4 o'clock, and let them check in the hotel, and then we'll come down and do some meetings, and you know, that'll be pretty much the night. Let the kids get rested, and then we'll wake up on Thursday, man, get ready to roll. And is it like a normal game day on Thursday as far as meetings, positional meetings or things like that? Absolutely, man. 8 o'clock, we'll wake them up, and we'll let the young men eat breakfast, kind of joke around a little bit. Then we go to our special teams meeting, call out, and that's where we make sure everybody's know who's behind who's, if this guy's down, the next person is up. And then we go OD meetings, and then we try to figure out, hey, let's put our stamp on it. If they do this, we're doing this. And then we'll let them take a little nap, and then we do chapel. Either myself or Coach Burrow will do chapel. It's the same way we did when Coach Coleman was here. Okay. Man, we should have a good time, man. We got young men that are excited about building a relationship with God, and so we're gonna never take that out of it. As long as I'm the head coach, we're gonna always put God first. And I tell people now, God don't care who win the game. Right. So what we want to do is make sure they know who God is. And so we're giving that opportunity. It is optional, all right? You have a free will to come. And so obviously we got some young men that attend, but we give them that chance, and then we'll go lay down, and we'll get up, and we'll get on that bus. And at that moment, at the pregame meal, it's ball time. You know, you got everybody, you done made all your lullabies, tell everybody you love them, and tell them what number you're wearing tonight, and let's go. Coach, you get me excited. I want to get out and play now, man. And lastly, Coach, of course, with it being a short week, that means that it's not enough, as much time to heal and get rehab and get iced up and things like that. How's the general health of the team this week? Well, I tell you what, I got to give Mr. Cleveland, TJ Cleveland, our athletic trainer, man, he does a tremendous job. I mean, that man is, he's awesome at what he does, and he's willing to work with our players, all sports. And I don't know if TJ gets much sleep. I said I sleep about 2 hours a night. I think TJ may be an hour, 59 minutes. But at the end of the day, he does a good job getting our players ready. I mean, we got mostly, we're pretty healthy. Okay. And at the end of the day, we ain't going to complain about who's not there. Next man up mentality, that's who we are. And that's who we're always going to be around here. So if one man down, the next guy got to step up. Absolutely, Coach. And speaking about TJ, great energy, man. I saw one of the players from Miles' team get hurt, and he was the first one out on the football field. So great energy with TJ Cleveland, and definitely appreciate him and what he does. Well, Coach, definitely want to wish you luck on heading to Huntsville, Alabama this week, and let's go get the Bulldogs, Coach. Go Lions. Yes, sir.
The ideal cut round diamond was developed to release the maximum amount of brilliance in a diamond. That was 100 years ago. The future is fire polish, and you have to see it to believe it.
The future is dazzling.
Nanotechnology creates an explosion of fire that's over 300 times more brilliant.
Dad, this is the future.
Come see the future for yourself at Sissy's Log Cabin.
Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐲 house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to Inside the Lions Den, and what a great audience we have here tonight. And once again, thanks to Coach Alonzo Hampton for stopping by. And now we're going to switch gears just a little bit. We're going to talk UAPB Lady Lions soccer, and I have with me head coach Eric Solberg.
Hey,
welcome,
there.
Coach.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely, man. Pleasure to have you. Well, what can I say? I mean, you've been here in your 4th season. The last 3 years, we made the SWAC tournament each and every year you've been here. Started off this year on a record-breaking mission, 16 goals in the game. And even though it's a young program at Tougaloo, I mean, wow, Coach, 16 goals in one game?
Yeah, I don't know if that's something we're all together all proud of, but I think, like, for our team, it was really important that we set the single-game scoring record. That was, like, one of the goals that we've had for the number of years I've been here, so we had a chance to do it. We did it, got us off on the right foot, and I think was a springboard kind of to the rest of our non-conference play. And just really proud of where the program has come in the 4 years that I've been here. And really, you know, you talked about we've been to 3 straight tournaments. That's great. Now we're ready to take the next step, play in the semifinal, hopefully reach a championship game, and finish the job.
Yes, sir. Let's go, Lady Lions. And again, that 16-goal match wasn't the only one. You guys had a 10-0 win over Lions College as well. 4-5-1 on the season so far, and getting ready for conference play. But Coach, just talk about your team and how they're playing in this young season.
Yeah, I think, you know, the one thing that is, you know, every year I feel like there's something new about the team, and this year I think the best attribute we have is our grittiness and our willingness to compete. I think it's gone to the next level from where it's been. You know, we had some big holes to fill. We lost the preseason and postseason SWAC Player of the Year, 2 different players, the transfer portal, so we had big shoes to fill. And I think we've done that, and I think the best thing about our team is maybe haven't scored all the goals that we scored last year in every single game, but our defense is better. I feel like our depth has improved, and we're really in a good spot heading into conference. So I've learned a lot about the team, and really excited to see what we can do in SWAC play.
And Coach, just mentioning, we talked a little bit off air about you learned a little bit about your team after this long road trip to Fargo, North Dakota, took on North Dakota and North Dakota State. How was that? Well, first, just with the traveling so far.
Yeah, I think, you know, I really try to make us travel quite a bit in the non-conference just because it prepares us for conference. You know, we're on the road this weekend down to Houston. That's not a short trip either on a bus. So, you know, just preparing our team for the ins and outs of SWAC play and making the trips, but also any opportunity for us to compete at a high level against great competition, prepare us for conference, but also to build our brand and get a chance to play somewhere where the kids have never been before, where nobody's maybe even heard of UAPB, and allows us to put ourselves on the map and compete at a really high level. So North Dakota came down last year. We were able to go get 2 games this weekend. We played really well. Like, the score lines don't really indicate it. It was 1-0 until the last 10 minutes against North Dakota State, and I'm not the coach to sit back and just lose the game 1-0, so it looks nice. We really tried to chase the game and tried to equalize, and they ended up scoring 2 goals kind of late on, and then we played really well again yesterday against North Dakota on shorter rest than they had, and really did well. The scoreline, again, maybe a little bit harsh on us, but I learned a lot about our team, and I feel like we're in a really good spot. Even though we're going in on 2 losses, we're in a really good spot heading into conference.
Absolutely, Coach. And talking about playing against some of the, I guess you would say, higher competition, you guys played against Oklahoma. And when you play games like that, big teams like that, what are you kind of looking for out of your team?
Yeah, just resilience and heart and grit. And, you know, we don't want to back down from anybody. Soccer is one of those games, right? Like, you know, last year we played Arkansas State. We had 3 shots, scored 1, and were able to come away with the victory. They had 7 shots, 9 shots, doesn't matter. Like, all it takes is 1, so anything can happen. We had the lead in the Oklahoma game. We scored the first goal. It was 1-0, and then it kind of fell apart from there. They're a really good team, obviously. Big 12 moving to the SEC. But it's all about the opportunity for our players. Play a game on ESPN Plus in front of a big crowd. There was over 1,000 people there. You know, I just really look for resilience and just to learn about my team and who wants to compete in those moments and maybe who shies away from it. But I was really proud. We were really resilient in the game, and you know, you just tip your hat to teams that may have a little bit more than you've got, but at the same time, like, it's a great opportunity for our team and to promote our brand and our program.
And you guys took the opportunity to heart and took advantage of it. Won the Neal win over a bigger school, I guess you would say, in Tarleton State.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that matchup.
Yeah, so they're a new program. They're in their second year out of a very good WAC conference. The WAC in women's soccer is a two-bid league in the NCAA, so it's one of the better leagues in NCAA Division I soccer outside the Power Five. We went down there last year, played their first ever home game. They really took it to us. There was like 4,000 people there. It was a tough situation for us. But our girls, they really took it personally, and I think, we knew they were going to underestimate us just because they were, they had a pretty easy victory last year, and we were fortunate. We got one corner kick early in the game, scored it, and then, or off the rebound, we scored it, and then we defended really well and created some opportunities the rest of the game. But I was really pleased with the way we rebounded, especially after, last year they really took it to us at their place. We brought them up here to Pine Bluff and were able to get a win. So first time our program's had back-to-back, non-conference Division I wins since 2010, 2011. So that's really exciting that we've been able to do that in back-to-back seasons. We got South Carolina State in the middle of our conference schedule on our bye week, so we can still get another one. We haven't had 2 wins against non-conference D1 teams since 2010, so that's kind of another one of those carrots we dangle in front of our players. We want to accomplish things that leave their mark in the UAPB soccer history record book, and we just take it one game at a time. But really happy for how we played. I think the way we've competed, the grind and the grit that we've shown, and then when you can keep a shutout, or we call it a clean sheet in soccer, that's the best, right? When you don't allow the other team to score, there's nothing better than that. And to do that and get a winner was really well deserved for our whole team, and really, really proud of the effort for sure.
Absolutely. And speaking of team effort, Lady Lions lead the SWAC conference in 4 categories: shots, points, goals, and assists. Yeah. So that means you guys are really getting after it on the pitch.
Yeah, we definitely have always been a good attacking team. I'm really happy with the way our defense has come along. We've always been a good attacking team in my time here, and we've been able, like I said, we lost 2 great attacking weapons last year in the off season, but we've reloaded, and I think we're in good shape. So I'm happy about all those statistics. But kind of like Coach Hampton said, it's SWAC week. We're ready. Everybody's 0-0. I want to just get to Friday night and hopefully be 1-0.
Absolutely, and like you mentioned, you guys are on your Houston area trip in Texas with Prairie View and Texas Southern. And talk a little bit about some of the individuals. Looking at some of the stats, 6 players in the top 10 in goals: Ayanna Hicks, Madison Hernandez, Wasil Bernal, Brooke Gonzalez, Emma Payton, and Brisha Monsungu.
Yeah. The thing I love most about that group is, there's 4-year seniors on that team. Maddie Hernandez and Ayanna, we call her Mo Hicks, were 2 of my first recruits here. They came in with me right when COVID hit, right during that time, so it's great to see them. You got Giselle Bernal, who's a freshman out of Dallas, contributing. You got a junior in Brisha Monsungu, who's been a 2-year captain for us, fantastic student in the classroom. Was reigning, I guess, until they announced tomorrow, SWAC Defensive Player of the Week. She scored the game winner against Tarleton, as well as led our back line, our defensive unit, in the clean sheet or shutout. And then you got Brooke Gonzalez, who's a sophomore out of California, who's just really, she's just playing with such confidence right now, just really enjoying her soccer, has made massive improvements since her freshman year. She was a good player for us then too, but has taken that next step. So I think that's what's maybe different and really serving us well is, we've got really only 5 juniors and seniors and 5th-year players, but they're all playing meaningful roles, and that's really helped our leadership, but we also have freshmen and sophomores that can play as well.
Absolutely, Coach. And we'll get to that trip here in just a moment when you guys open conference play this Friday. But not only are the ladies excelling on the pitch, they're also doing the same things in the classroom.
Yeah, and I wish I could take all the credit for it, but I don't sit in the tests and all that. But it's something we really look at in recruiting. The way our scholarships are funded in terms of it's not full or nothing like some other sports. We really try to recruit high academic kids because then they get some money from that side too. And we obviously have really high standards for our student athletes in the classroom. I think we had a 3.78 GPA in the spring, and then one of the other things we really look for, none of my returners are in study hall, which means they all got a 3.0 or above. We didn't have a single D or F in our program last year. Those are things like we care about, go to class, be an active participant. And we've got some players that are doing awesome things that have now graduated. Some got their master's degrees from this institution or others in grad school now, on their way to becoming lawyers, different things, and have really big ambitions. And that's something that I really want to encourage is soccer will end at some point for them. And so just making sure they have a clear path to career and profession that they not only just want to do, but are actually gonna be passionate about and love doing. So really fortunate to coach a great group. Like I said, I wish I could take all the credit. We just have a really good group of young women that are doing really amazing things, and I think representing our institution really well.
And Coach, it's SWAC time. Getting ready for conference play this Friday. You guys open on the road. I believe you have Prairie View first on Friday, the 22nd. What is kind of your message to your team heading into SWAC play?
Yeah, I think it's, it's one game at a time. It's everybody starts 0-0. We're really proud of the fact that we've been to 3 straight conference tournaments and we've been picked to miss 3 straight, but they picked us to miss again this year. And so that's a little bit of a motivating factor for us is they picked us 9th. They picked us behind Prairie View, who we beat 4-1 last year, and Texas Southern, who we beat 5-1 last year. So for us, that's motivation. That's all the motivation we need. And but at the same time, I'm a pretty methodical coach. It's one game at a time. You can't be 2-0 unless you're 1-0. So we're going to worry about Prairie View on Friday. Hopefully, put our best foot forward. But I don't really worry about this group in terms of the effort they're going to give and the grittiness. I think that was a worry maybe in year 1 or year 2, maybe even a little bit last year. But right now, I know I'm going to get a maximum effort. The question is, can we play to our level technically on the field? Can we finish our chances? Can we do what we're capable of defensively? And if we do that, we're going to be in really good shape, and we're going to find ourselves back in Prairie View for the SWAC tournament in November. And hopefully, like I said, our big ambition is we got to make it first, right? That's the first step. But once we make it, not have a short trip. We want to be playing on Friday and then hopefully on Sunday. But one game at a time. The next game is the biggest game, as cliche as that sounds, but one game at a time, and things will work out.
Absolutely. And then, of course, Sunday, you guys will be at Texas Southern. But getting ready to return home, and I know you're anxious about that, coming back to the Pumphrey, now soccer stadium. Talk a little bit about coming back home, Coach.
Yeah, we love playing at home. I think we have a tremendous home field advantage. I think that's not only from the student athletes and fans that come out and support us, but also just everything about being at home, I think, brings the best out in our players. I think that's why we were able to flip the scoreline on a team like Tarleton State. Is we do play better at home. We do have that home field advantage, and really we're home. Both of our home SWAC weekends are home football weekends. So we're home when they're home against Southern. We're home for homecoming. So I definitely want to encourage everyone, come out. Bring your kids. My kids will be there. If you've never watched soccer, come watch soccer. All you have to know is the team who puts the ball in the goal more wins, and if nobody does, except if nobody does, then it's a tie. That's okay. We'll work on that. But yeah, I invite you all to come out. I know the RV Club supports our student athletes and our athletic department so well. Invite them to come before we play Friday and Sunday. So if you're in town early, come out Friday at 4 o'clock, both Fridays, for those next 2 home football weekends. Sunday, if you're staying around, go to church, come on at 1 o'clock and come join us. And, I know our team will make you proud on the field, and you'll get to see some physical, dynamic, energetic soccer. We'd love to have you all there. I know that would mean a lot to my team. We're always right there by the lake working hard, and just really appreciate the support we've gotten from all of Golden Lion Nation. But invite you out on those 2 home football weekends to come watch 4 chances to see us play some high-level soccer.
Absolutely. Watch a little football and then football.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, Coach, definitely want to wish you luck, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on today. You're tuned into Inside the Lions Den. That's head coach Eric Solberg, UAPB Lady Lions soccer head coach. We'll be back in a moment, folks, with more, and we'll talk with athletic director Christopher Robinson on Inside the Lions Den.
Hi, I'm Ford Trotter for Trotter Ford Lincoln in Pine Bluff. We believe in being tried and true, and that means earning your repeat business by giving you our best customer service and best deals every single time.
Like up to $14,000 off MSRP on the 2019 F-150 Crew Cab. That's right, $14,000 off MSRP.
So come see for yourself. Shop Trotter Ford Lincoln in Pine Bluff and TrotterFord.com today. Tried, true, Trotter.
I feel like her heartbeat is same speed as mine, and I think we have this deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero. Good job, kitty cat. When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
So many flavors of dew. I am thirsty. I must get the dew.
Cut! He's hypnotized again!
Do the dew.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Welcome back to Inside the Lion's Den. I'm LaRon Marbley here, and I have with me now the Vice Chancellor for Intercollegiate Athletics, Mr. Christopher Robinson. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Hey, thank you, LaRon. Good to be here.
Absolutely, a pleasure to have you, man. And just a great event, man. Our first show, well, first let's give a special thanks to the UAPB Business Incubator. Beautiful setting here. Miss Angelisa Henry does a great job here, and man, just a fantastic feeling heading into conference play this week in football.
This is an outstanding facility. We're excited to be here to be able to host a coaches show. We're excited about getting this kicked off. But one thing, just to come out here and look at what's available here, you know, it's part of UAPB's property here. Mm-hmm. We have, it's a business incubator. We help a lot of people develop business plans. And matter of fact, we're developing a business plan led by Ms. Angelisa Henry. We're going to have our own athletic apparel store right here on Main Street here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. We're extremely excited about that. So, homecoming weekend, if you haven't got your apparel yet, just come right here. We got it for you. But again, it's a beautiful facility. I want to pick this up and take it on campus, and we have the athletic offices right in here. Yep.
That would be lovely, but it is a gorgeous establishment here, and looking forward to that apparel store.
Yes.
And man, of course, the university celebrating 150 years of existence, 30 years off the death penalty for the athletics program for football. Man, it's just a great time to be a Golden Lion right now.
Yeah, and I shared that field with one of the young men sitting right next to me.
Yes,
excited
sir.
to be there again. 150 years, a lot of history that's taken place, and this was a year first, though, within that 150 year. But Coach Hamp's philosophy right now is restore the pride. That's his war cry right now. And a lot of coaches are doing a lot of things for their particular program. But you think 30 years ago, we came off the death penalty. Mm-hmm. We came off the death penalty to help start this and build a building block in restoring that pride, and did a good job. So with that being said, we're going to celebrate that this year. We're asking a lot of the former players to come back. We're going to celebrate here for homecoming. A lot of the people that are on that team with us to help restore the pride and put that first step in the building block as we come back.
Absolutely, and looking forward to that. And of course, it's been a great season thus far, man. Big ball game, started the season of football against Tulsa. Went to the 34th Annual Southern Heritage Classic for the first time in history. And man, what a turnout, Chris. I was just so impressed and so proud of Golden Lion Nation, the way we showed up in Memphis.
We showed up and we showed out. You know, I got a call from the promoter, Mr. Fred Jones, extremely excited, extremely pleased with the way we came. I think a lot of people didn't know what to expect about UAPB, but they found out that day. We introduced ourselves to the world. Lion Nation showed up and showed out, and we're extremely proud to be a part of this family.
Absolutely, and didn't look too shabby on the football field either.
Came
up a little bit short, but of course got our first win this weekend, and I'm so proud of Coach Hampton and the guys just fighting through that game. And a lot of people saw Miles College on the schedule and think, it's a gimme. A lot of people don't understand. They beat Alabama State the previous week, so that wasn't just a handover team.
Yep. The one thing you said about fighting, they fought this weekend. They fought against Tulsa. They fought against Tennessee State, showing that resilience is one thing to be a Lion, to show that pride, consistency, and stick-to-itness. And that's one thing we want to develop in our student athletes. They fight in the classroom. We are just extremely proud about their effort this year.
Absolutely. So very proud of the football program, and of course, other fall sports going on. We talked to Coach 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐽, and of course, they're doing very well. The UAPB soccer team, UAPB volleyball doing well as well. They're getting ready to start conference play as well.
Yeah. I think you were correct when you said doctor. He thinks he's Dr. 𝐂𝐨𝐽. He thinks he's a doctor already. But the volleyball team has a lot of, not volleyball, but the soccer team, a lot of good energy. He mentioned grit. They're fighting, lost some key players over the last couple of years, but they continue to come together and they bond and they fight and they compete. Some major wins this season, and so we're extremely excited about how they're starting off. Volleyball, led by a great coach, great leader, Coach Floyd. We're extremely about the culture of that program and where they're going with that program. As a matter of fact, October 7th, the weekend of October 7th, I think we have open weekend, but we're going to start that Monday with a cluster. We have a cluster where all the teams are going to come here and we get the opportunity to compete. We want all you guys to come out and support our volleyball program. We're extremely excited about that. Come out, support the Lady Lions, and you will not be unsatisfied. I put it that way.
Absolutely, and looking forward to that. And Coach Floyd, again, does a great job with the ladies. And, man, with all the schools being here, there's going to be a lot of attention for Pine Bluff as well. Extremely. Yeah, it's going to be some good attention. We get to show off what we have. Young ladies get to compete, but they're going to fight a little harder. They're looking at that crowd and hear those people, rooting for them. Absolutely.
So encouraging everyone to come on out with us.
Also going on this fall, we have cross country going on with Coach McCoy, and they always do a great job as well. Yeah, Coach McCoy, we call him the Magic Man. I was complaining we don't have, but he's always getting results at the end. His kids respond. And one thing you think about when you compete against others in our conference, we don't have all the scholarships that they have. We don't have all the amenities. Again, we've been here 150 years, and we talk about Coach 𝐂𝐨𝐽, we talk about Coach McCoy, and one thing, Coach McCoy has been successful year after year without a track. Right. We don't have a track, and that's something I'm excited about also. 150 years, but we finally got the final approval Friday. We've decided, we've selected we've selected a construction company. We've talked to the architect. The plans are going into place right now to go ahead and start the construction of a first ever track and soccer complex on the campus of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. So we're extremely excited about that. Absolutely. Yep. And you know, Coach 𝐂𝐨𝐽 is very happy as well. He's very happy about that, yeah. And also the golf team. I mean, what can you say about Coach Totten and the golf team? Last year, doing what they're doing, making all the way to the regionals in Oklahoma. Wow. And, of course, that's a fall and spring sport. Yes. Coach Totten, again, he came on strong, won a few major tournaments last fall. Then with the culmination of the SWAC championship. Again, this is year first. 150 years is the first time we've ever won a SWAC championship in men's golf. And we're extremely excited about that. We did not only win, but we won by 30 strokes. So he put a statement out there, but he said, once you, I tell Coach Totten, once you create a monster, you got to feed it. That's right. So we got some hungry monsters out there, yeah. So looking forward to the golf team as well. But all of our fall sports do absolutely tremendous jobs with their student athletes. And that's the thing I like the most about it. They keep it student athletes. And a lot of our student athletes are doing very well, not only in their respective sports, but in the classrooms as well. Correct. Coach 𝐂𝐨𝐽 alluded to it. He liked to brag. He took over this year. Golf has been pretty good. We have some areas that are doing pretty good. We have 295 student athletes right now currently. And for the last 4 years, we've maintained over a 3.0 GPA. Wow. So we're extremely excited about what they're doing. Then, to help, to add to that as well, the student athletes, they have a graduation success rate, which is number 2 in the conference. And again, we're going for number 1. Number 2 in the conference at 84%. So we're extremely excited about what they've been able to do. Absolutely, absolutely. Just kudos to the student athletes. They do a fantastic job. Now, of course, we still have season tickets available as far as the sports go for this fall as well. Talk a little bit about that. Now, season tickets, one thing, we've teamed up with some of our counterparts. Again, Coach 𝐂𝐨𝐽 alluded to our RV club. We're excited about our fans. We're excited about everyone here, but we've had a lot of support from our Rolling Lions RV Club. We can put them up against anyone in the conference. So they have a campaign right now called Pack the Stands. Okay. We call Pack the Stands, and this weekend we had over 8,000 people at our football game here. Wow. And then that's leading to the best possible
experience you can have for men and women's basketball, we have the best in the conference. And so we continue to push that with the season tickets for both of those areas. Coach alluded to the people coming out to the games. Luckily, it works out to where we have those soccer games during the football home games. So we can do both, and it's good experience for our fans. Volleyball games, they're excited. If you haven't experienced these things, please come out and support us. But with season tickets right now, football season tickets are still selling. We're still selling those along with individual tickets. But we will look to go with basketball season tickets October 1st.
October 1st.
October 1st.
Mark
Let's
it on
get
your
ready to do
calendar.
it. Yep.
All right, looking forward to that. And since you alluded to basketball, man, some big signings with our basketball coaches. It looks like we're going to have them around for a little while.
We got a couple we like, you know.
And of course, Coach Don Thornton, the UAPB Lady Lions basketball coach, took the ladies to the semifinal, to the finals last year. Came a little bit short. And one thing I remember about interviewing Coach Thornton, she talked about it. She was like, "I got everybody coming back, so I'm not pressed for recruitment." I mean, how about that? I mean, what a good feeling to have.
Well, I think Don can say that, but you know how Don is. She's a competitor. Coach Thornton, she's a competitor. And one thing, again, 150 years, and I talk about it is a year of first. This is the first time our women's basketball team competed for a SWAC championship. We're extremely excited about where they are and could have walked away with that championship, although everything didn't fall in line with us that day. But you should have seen the fans. Again, an introduction of UAPB, the UAPB brand of basketball. We won the hearts of Birmingham while we were there. As a matter of fact, they're already sending us information for hotel information to go back. Not to put no pressure, but they're sending information already for the hotel information for us to come back. Then, of course, Coach Solomon Bozeman, his team went on a winning streak last year that was unprecedented and played some big games against some Power 5 schools and came that close to winning. So we're extremely excited about where we are, where we're going, and we were fortunate enough to lock both of them in this year. We have a lot of people calling trying to get them, but we were able to lock them in, and they're golden lines for a few more years.
All right.
Yeah.
We're definitely glad to hear that. And, man, I think they both do a fantastic job. We're looking forward to the basketball season as well. And of course, again, you mentioned basketball season tickets go on sale October 1st. That's
October
the
1st, yes.
October 1st, all right. Well, of course, we got some, going back to football, got some big games coming up. Of course, homecoming is coming up. And we had a great time, again, with the showing Saturday. I was just proud of Golden Lion Nation to come out after the showing in Memphis to come on home and have the showing that we had. But we got some more important games coming up, including homecoming.
Yes, yeah, we have some important games. As I mentioned, once you create a monster, you got to feed it. We had over 8,000 fans there in culmination with Band Day, High School Day. But it created a very good atmosphere. And one thing that stand with me as I look at that game, in particular starting the season out, we started a new program that's led by one of our young men, Quentin Moore, who's doing an excellent job in helping to put this program out there. It's called the Cub Club.
Okay.
So to start the season out, we have a youth 12 and under. They led the football team out there. The first ones to run on the field, run through the cheerleaders, run through the band, and you should have seen the excitement. I think their parents were more excited than they were. So you should have seen that everybody's taking the videos and all, and that's something we're going to do every game. We're going to do every game. We want them to have their experience and just have that feel about UAPB. And so that's something that's very important to us. So we're extremely excited about that. But I'm extremely excited and encouraged. Although we came in, we didn't have the record we wanted, but the atmosphere, the energy that took place at Simmons Bank Field this weekend, I'm extremely encouraged about this year. Now we're going to need that again. We got Southern University coming to Simmons Bank Field on September 30th, and we need to send them back home. You know, with an upside down front. So, of course, Southern came in. Southern came in this year. They lost to Alabama State, which Miles beat Alabama State. We beat Miles, so it's all over the place right now. But we need people in the stands. I think their band is coming, and they got a little chip on their shoulder. They want to prove a point.
Absolutely.
But we're going to give them a point to go back. All right. So, but we can't do it without our fans in the stands.
Definitely need that support, and we have to support. And that's not this week, but the next weekend.
That's next weekend. Yeah, we're in Alabama this weekend, and come back home. Then homecoming, as you mentioned, it is the 21st. We're going to start that full week, but October 21st, we're going to host Alcorn, who went to beat McNeese this year, And they're coming together. They're building confidence. We're excited about that. Then follow up, we got Jackson State at home. You know, Dion ran from us the last 2 years. We were on the school in the conference that he didn't play. We almost played in the Classic with them, but we didn't get the opportunity to do it due to contractual obligations for them at that particular time. And then on November 10th, it's a Friday night. We're going to celebrate the military and the veterans. We're going to host Grambling State University, Friday Night Lights, Golden Lions Stadium, Simmons Bank Field. Come on out and support the Golden Lions.
So you heard it, folks. And Chris, man, I'm excited about the future, man, of UAPB athletics. Not only football, we talk a lot about football, but all of our sports are doing very well. They're building. And man, it's just an exciting time to be a Golden Lion.
It's an exciting time. And again, like I said, I keep saying it, it's a year first back to Coach McCoy and his group. You know, each year last year he had heptathlon young lady that, again, transfer reporter, they came and sucked him up, you know, to go. But had a young man, Caleb Stokes, to get the opportunity to go out and be the first student athlete ever in HBCU history to win the Western Division in an NCAA event out there in track. So we're extremely excited about that. You talked about Coach Thornton and what she's doing, and she wasn't going to recruit. She didn't recruit, but she went out and got the best player in the MAC Player of the Year in the country. And I watched a young lady play the other day, and she's pretty impressive. So you think about those things and what's going on here at the university. I know you're a big baseball fan. You play the baseball as well. And matter of fact, with softball, we're going to meet in the morning, Coach Bumpers and I, with the architect. They're building a new field house for them as well, so we're meeting with the architect in the morning. We're just excited about where we are and more excited about where we're going. We want to do as much as we can for our student athletes to provide them with the best possible opportunity to go out and compete. But more importantly, create those memories, continue to be successful in the classroom, on the field, and in life.
Absolutely. Very well put, my man. Thank you for coming on.
I appreciate you, sir.
Vice Chancellor of Intercollegiate Athletics, Mr. Christopher Robinson. And folks, we thank you for tuning in to Inside the Lions Den. You want to tune in next week where we'll talk to the coaches inside the UAPB Athletics Department here on Inside the Lions Den. Good night, everybody.